The girl married the landlord, whom she had barely known. For the sake of an apartment, the two completed the final ceremony of the wedding. In the dressing room during the wedding, the man solemnly promised his mother-in-law that he would take good care of her daughter. The mother was deeply comforted upon seeing this, and Jenny, hiding nearby, was also moved to hear it. After the wedding ended, the parents of both sides bid farewell at the door. On the way home, Jenny kept staring at Thomas, unable to believe that she was married. On the first day after marriage, Jenny woke up early and prepared a table full of breakfast. However, Thomas claimed he didn't have the habit of eating breakfast. Jenny couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. Thomas had no choice but to change his mind temporarily, and Jenny was instantly overjoyed. After finishing breakfast, Jenny went out to look for a job, but was rejected after several interviews. The reason given was that Jenny was too old. Just as she arrived at a coffee shop, the shop manager, without asking any questions, asked Jenny to help him with something. He explained the task to Jenny, but didn't tell her whether the subject was a person or an animal. Jenny mistakenly thought the manager was looking for a dog, so she searched every corner of the street. At that moment, a boy walked up to her and asked what she was doing. Jenny quickly explained that she was helping someone look for a dog. Then she described the features to the boy. The boy looked at the slow-witted Jenny with a smile, unaware that the features she described were exactly the same as his own. So the boy asked Jenny to leave her contact information, saying he would notify her once it was found, and then he left with a smile. When Jenny returned to the coffee shop, she apologetically told the manager the result. However, the manager said the person had already returned. Jenny happily handed over her resume, but the boss simply told her to go home and wait for news. On the way back, Jenny happened to run into Thomas's colleague, who enthusiastically invited her to visit the company. A group of people surrounded Jenny, chatting non-stop, while Thomas wore a cold expression throughout. Jenny didn't notice at all. She smiled happily beside them, immersed in the joy of happiness. On the way back, she kept talking, feeling that going home from work with her husband was a blissful thing. However, Thomas didn't say a word the whole way. When they got home, Jenny happily picked up Thomas's cat. She thought they were already family, and that this house was their shared home. She had even taken the trouble to give the cat a name. Thomas's expression gradually darkened. When Jenny, concerned, asked him what was wrong, Thomas finally couldn't hold back. He coldly told Jenny that she had crossed a line. Their marriage was fake. There was no emotional attachment between them. Jenny's behavior had intruded on his private space. He warned Jenny to be mindful of boundaries. Jenny never imagined that she had been blinded by temporary joy and had forgotten that they were merely landlord and tenant. So that night, she threw away the collar she had bought for the cat and once again classified him as a stranger. The next day, she only prepared breakfast for herself. When Thomas sat down, he realized there were no utensils for him. Upon learning that Jenny had only made one portion of breakfast, the man tactfully got up and left. At that moment, the boy from the alley called Jenny. Jenny quickly asked what was the matter. Unexpectedly, the boy had fallen in love with Jenny at first sight. He politely asked if Jenny had a boyfriend. Because the volume was loud, Thomas also heard the question. Jenny looked at Thomas and gave her answer.